right, so let's go ahead and bring out our first single guy. Hi, come on out. Hello, welcome in.
In this video, I am going to explain to you why it's so important on presentation when it comes to selling on digital marketing. And just like how you saw in that show, which by the way is extremely popular, it shows you the demonstration of how important the first impression is. So if you guys are not familiar with that show, first of all, you got to go watch it. Arlette, she's amazing. Basically what it is, it's a dating show where you have tons of contestants and then the opposite sex candidate comes in and he presents himself. And so how does all of this relate to digital marketing? I'm going to present to you some important steps as far as why this is so important and how it correlates when it comes to selling your services to other people. Let's get right to it. So the first thing that you have to pay attention to, the first impression. It doesn't mean everything, but you can't get past hello unless you have the right look. Think about that for a second. If your website or if your landing page looks very rinky-dinky, it really doesn't matter what you're selling, even if it's an amazing product. First impressions count. So just like in the show,
over here, hello, welcome in. All right.
Automatically disqualified based on appearance. I don't want to know anything else because of what I saw. And so for that reason, we have to pay very close attention to aesthetics and what things contribute to aesthetics. Let's talk about it. One of them is your branding. We're talking about how does your logo look? Did you just get a logo on some rinky-dinky whatever, just download it and whatever, you put no effort to it? People are very savvy nowadays. Remember, the web didn't just come out yesterday. We have years out with it. So if you didn't put no type of investment on that logo or on your branding, where you just slap a few colors and just download from this website and probably just edit your name, people realize that. Versus other brands that hire branding experts, or you learn how to do branding yourself and you make your logo look very cohesive. We're talking about from the way that your logo looks, the way that your fonts are displayed on your website, the way that you use your colors, the way on how everything is structured aesthetically. All of that plays a role in the persona of your business towards what it's trying to do. The next thing.
Let's go back over here, see what's going on. Why did we end up popping our balloons?
You mentioned the gym.
How is your website coordinated?
I'm gonna assume that you don't work out like that consistently.
I do, but...
When last time you worked out? Don't worry about it. You gotta think about it.
In other words, what platform are you using? You could have nice branding and all that stuff on your website, but if it's not structured for it to look the right way, in other words, that the skeleton of the website is just so blah because you went and you used a very cheap service, people are going to tell that. If everything is just splattered all over the place, it just doesn't make sense. It looks like someone who just popped the trunk and just says, yo, I got this for this, I got this for that. What you want? What you want? What you want is what you see, and today's price is not tomorrow's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. You get what I mean? So structure, the way of how the customer journey goes into the website plays also a major role. What are some other components? Let's pretend that you have all of this situated. What could be another attribute that could go ahead and make your customer fall in love with you to the sense that they want to purchase from you? So what's the next thing? The person presented himself. Now they're about to talk.
My name is Terrence. I'm from Alabama.
They start off with their name, where they're from, and how old they are.
I'm 34. I'm an electrician. I also DJ, and I also do battery work on cars too. So
what happens when the person speaks, or when the guy speaks? You sometimes hear some follow-up pops. Pop, 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 pop.
My name is Diddy. I'm a DJ.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 27.
27. All right, nice to meet you. Okay.
What does this mean? How does that relate to your business? It could relate to the advertisement that you have on your website, or it could relate to an advertisement that you're currently running off of some of the campaigns where the look is appealing, but all of a sudden the things that you have to say just don't correlate with the proper messaging that the customer wants to hear. In other words, you're going straight for the sale, or you're saying something that just sounds too scammy, or something that everybody and their mother says. Instead of you paying attention to what the other person is going through, sympathizing, understanding, be human. Come on, you guys are customers too. So you guys know the pain point of what your customers go through. You have to relate.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right after the introduction is done, that's when you start seeing several candidates left. Very interesting, because that's how marketing works. Marketing starts off basically where a campaign is thrown out to a bunch of people, very broad. Then from those, there's going to be several people who will pop your balloon per se, and it'll start narrowing down. Then others, just based on what you said, they didn't like it. Starts narrowing down again. Then afterwards, finally, you deliver your core message, they hear what you have to say, and now we go into that next phase where it goes into the one-to-one.
Okay, if I can have you step on out here.
You'll notice in that show how all of a sudden they take turns in asking questions, and depending on what that person says, either they get to keep their balloon or they get to pop them. Same goes with sales. Let me explain. So this next part right here really depends on your niche industry. If you're in e-commerce, this next part has to do with customer service. If you're in the service-based business, where you're offering services based on brick and mortar, or like your dentist or something like that, sometimes this customer service could go in the chat, or more than likely they go into the DMs, whether if it's on Instagram or if they email you or if they text you, any of the sort. And just like on that show, when they're doing the face-to-face question, this part is important too, in order to qualify if you are the right candidate or the right person that they want to buy from you.
So you say you're from Kansas. I'm from Kansas City.
Oh my God. Okay.
What part of Kansas you from?
Topeka. What part are you from?
I'm from Missouri, inner city.
Okay. Okay.
Topeka. Okay, that's something new.
It's funny how all this parallel works, right? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Sometimes the customer has questions for you. They say, well, like in the dating show, do you have any kids? Do you have any this? Well, when it comes to what you're selling, the questions that they will ask from you to figure out if you really know your stuff. Because let's face it, there's tons of people out there that they just want to sell just because they want to sell, and they really don't care about the product itself. And based on the questions that are thrown out at you, the customers are going to be able to tell. For example, if you're trying to sell a course and that course has very detailed information, the customer who's trying to buy from you is trying to ask you questions related to the things on the course. And then if you're just like, well, the information is on the course, you could find out for yourself, you're really not being helpful, and you also don't sound too informative regarding the knowledge behind the course. The customers will start smelling that all you are is desperate for cash and you have no interest into talking to them.
Yeah, your questions, your answers, like the stuff I'm getting from you is like super shallow. Like, what do you want from me? A provider knows what you want.
Yeah.
Very shallow. Give me something deep. Like, tell me something about yourself that's more than just shallow.
Okay, where you guys from? And if you're, that's where, I want to know.
Another thing on the DMs is that you don't want to humanize the process. You want to just stay on your phone, just texting, and it could be a bot for all they know. Or maybe they're using a system that's very automated. And a lot of people don't like that automation stuff, at least when it gets overly used and abused, if you know what I mean. And so for that reason, sometimes it's always better for you to do a voice chat, right? Because a voice chat is not necessarily over the phone. I understand that over the phone is a bit too time consuming to go one-to-one with all that type of stuff. But a voice note allows you to do what you have to do while at the same time taking a spare moment and going ahead and sending out that voice note. Let's pretend that they like what they hear. And let's also pretend now, in this totally different situation, that you're selling a high ticket item. In other words, that you as a vendor or as a business owner, you don't qualify everybody. You have to kind of like shortlist some people. Like, we like to work only with businesses that earn more than $2 million a year, or we only like to work with businesses that have more than 5 employees or have been in business for more than 3 years. There's some companies that work like that because of the budget situation. Not everybody could afford it. You understand what I mean? And so in those circumstances, sometimes businesses have to qualify the candidate. They have to say, hey, I have some questions too, just to see if we're a good fit.
Can I ask one question too? I'm so sorry. How do you guys feel about kids?
I mean, there's a number to it. I don't have kids, so if you pushing 2 or 3, we got to talk about it. You have kids?
No.
Okay, we good.
The show does the same thing. So remember, sometimes the group of girls or guys or gals, right? They ask their questions. That's the customer. And then the opposite also too asks questions.
How do you feel about kids?
Oh, I love the kids. I want maybe like 2 to 3 in the future, yeah.
Okay. And now, do you want kids?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but if it happens, it happens. If
Okay.
it doesn't.
All right. Cool.
That's the vendor, high ticket item or something of that nature, right? Same thing. Sometimes the vendor might say, hey, so tell me about your business. We're a niche business. We only work with X amount of people. Tell me exactly what is your business, or tell me usually what is your marketing budget when it comes to something like this.
I just like to know if someone really wants kids, it would have to be more into adopting and stuff. And I'm open to that.
Be careful. Sometimes customers don't like the budgeting question. And so you have to kind of work your way around and try to find out.
Okay, so you kind of hesitate a little bit. Was what she stated a deal breaker for you, or something that could be a problem?
Something could be a problem, but I mean, it's a way to see.
Okay.
What is their budget? Such as, how many years have you been in business? Or how many employees do you have currently staffed at the moment? Exactly what business problem are we trying to solve? And how does that relate to your financial revenue that's been impacting your business? Oh, you've been having a loss? How much of a percentage drop of a loss would you say that you've been having with this issue last year compared to this year? If you could put it as a percentage. And then next thing you know, you might hear them start throwing some numbers. Now you kind of get the gauge as far as where they're kind of working at. You see what I mean?
All right. Okay, why did we end up popping?
Because he said it could be a problem. So if it is a problem, it can't be a problem right now because we have a way to figure it out. There's in vitro, like I said, adoption. So.
And then finally, you guys get to continue asking questions up until the point where it's a solid match.
All right. So, is it going to be a yes for you for him? Yes. And is it going to be a yes for you for her?
Absolutely.
We got a match!
So you saw that? You saw how that relates to the whole popping the balloon thing? It's the same exact thing. We have to pay attention to our presentation, our expertise, how we communicate, how we listen, how we humanize with the customer. So make sure that you're practicing all the right tactics so that your leads could turn into clients. If you found this video very, very important, I have more to show you. I can't wait for you to see this other one that you're truly going to benefit on impacts regarding social media and also sales. Until then, until the next time.